Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 24th of November. So it's Black Friday out there, and well, how the market's going to move today. Yesterday saw a much smaller move on the euro there, continued its push up there, pushing into almost the previous highs. We've now done those previous highs by the looks of things, or may have even pipped them this morning. At the moment it's selling off from that level. There were sell orders sitting up there, as I could see on the order book. Actually it's it's just pipped back into that level. So there were sell orders sitting there. Now if we start breaking through this 4-hourly 8, we could continue selling off towards the 4-hourly 21, or 4-hourly 500, somewhere in that sort of region. Would be a respectable day, bearing in mind the expected low volatility today. There's absolutely no news coming out of side of the 9 o'clock news of the German IFO Business and Climate, which may give the slightest of moves, but it's not known for its volatility. So there we are. We're down on the daily pivot at the moment on the euro. It's barely moved from there. A break of that sort of level, and that, as I said, that 4-hourly 8 could see us coming down towards the S1 stroke 60-minute 50. So that's pretty much on euros. Not too much. It looks a bit rounded off where it is. There was sort of a divergence of sorts kicking through there, not particularly clear. Probably easier to see here on the MACD. You see the size from these two lows. Slightly longer time frame, that one, and that's showing quite a clear divergence there, but you can see it on the RSI as well. Anyway, so weakening move into the RSI, the euro at the moment. So let's have a look at the pound. So big picture first. Well, yesterday, spinning top there, maybe a bit more downside potential. It's had a short-term rally off this 4-hourly 21. Now, again, breaks this sort of level, next moving average really we're looking at. If it's starting to sell off, it's just run back into the 60-21s, and I think the day pivot was just about air kissed at just after midnight there, so there's the potential for it to run into that. If it does, it may leave us a bullish, if it leaves it where it is now, it'll be a bullish sort of signal, maybe more upside potential, so wary of that. If it gets up to the daily pivot, reacts and starts selling off, well, it may be an opportunity back down, but it's already hit the S1 anyway, so I think range-wise we could end up in a bit of a chop there. Dollar yen. The dollar yen, well, it's again put a little reversal candle in yesterday, pushing up at the moment. Maybe the way it's heading at the moment, it could run towards that daily 8. There is quite a lot of consolidation at that base level there, and again there was a slight bit of divergence at the absolute lows there, so we could see a little bit more of a correction. I mean, many of these markets have been stretched a little bit. That yen pushed through a lot further than I expected initially, but it has triggered a more short side potential on the bigger picture, but as I say, short term, well, here we are, we're up into the R2 areas. At the moment it's maybe a bit overdone for today. Okay, that's the yen. Okay, Aussie dollar. Okay, moving into Aussie dollar, and it's looking at it from the again, a bit of sell-off here, so a little bit of dollar strength coming through most of these markets at the moment. Nothing really particularly weak here, but it is, again, breaking the 4-hourly 8, maybe the 21 being the next target there, maybe a bit more. It's not big targets, these for sure. Very slow yesterday afternoon there with the US market closed, and it's probably going to be much the same today as the sales come into play, and markets stay relatively flat, but as I say, more potential downside for a short while at least. Maybe down towards the S1 wouldn't be a bad initial place, but I mean, it's not going to give anything in the way of points. It's only 7 points away from it, so as I say, thin pickings probably here on that this morning or today. And finally, the Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar, well, it did catch the 34 moving average yesterday, and marginal bounce there at the moment. It's run through the 4-hourly 8 to the 21. It's just finding a bit of resistance at that point at the moment. Where from here, well, we'll just have to watch this morning, because the others all look like they've got a bit more distance, so the Canadian dollar may push up a bit further. Untouched daily pivot below, so if it starts selling off again, if oil pushes, we could see that roll down. As just quick look at oil from where we are at the moment. It's sitting at the moment. It's pushing up again then, so it's back up to that 58.5. That could well, if that breaks that level, we could see the Canadian dollar reversing at some point. But at the moment, with dollar strength coming through, it's well, potentially it's got a clear way above it, so it could push up back towards the monthly pivot at 200 if it gets a head of steam there. But stranger things happen first thing in the morning. So with the Canadian dollar, it can be a bit slow to react, and eventually we get a bit of movement. So just being a bit wary on that at the moment. But I would be watching for the daily pivot, as I said, if we see any breakthrough, probably this 60.21 there. Okay, so not a lot there in real terms. Markets are a bit picky. I'd pick the trades very carefully. I wouldn't expect anything to move too fast on a Black Friday. It can be quite slow. Have a great one anyway. Bye for now.